Why are there so many Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies? And which one's the best? God! Irritating! You know? Let's find out. This is From Best to Worst, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yo, what's going on, fellow junkies, and welcome back. And I mean, welcome back to From Best to Worst. This is a line of videos I did quite a while ago. I haven't done one for a long time since. I believe I did Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, and Friday the 13th, so if you're interested in that, definitely go check them out. Without saying much about it, you guys, basically the idea of these movies, I'm going to take a franchise, I'm going to talk about my least favorite movie to the movie I like the best, or the movie I hate to the movie I love the most. So, it's called From Best to Worst, but I go from worst to best. Let's keep that rock and rolling. It's just the title. It is what it is. Just follow my words and we'll be just fine. So as you can see, I'm going to do the Texas Chainsaw Massacre today, and I've literally just rewatched every single one of these movies. So I feel like I got enough to say about this whole franchise, and hell, let's have a great time doing it. So, right at the very bottom, my absolute least favorite Friday the 13th movie, the one I very rarely watch, and I feel good about this because I watched it just for this video. But this is probably, let me get a little more about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I feel like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a very solid franchise with one bump in the road, and I feel like that's it. That's pretty impressive, I will say, for a franchise that's been going on as long as it has. So I'll go ahead and get into this. My least favorite, I don't even think I want to call it one of my favorites. It's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't like. I try to watch it and like it, but I just can't do it. And that's going to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. You know, I mean, I really liked this as a kid, maybe because I was just so young at heart and, you know, was able to see more in it back then. But this one, I just don't enjoy it. I watch it a lot. I just can't get into it. It's really not enjoyable. I mean, of course, I got it in the collection because I am a completist, and it is what it is. Excuse me, but the Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation, just the dud of the franchise, in my personal opinion, and there's not much good to say about it. I mean, it's just one of those Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey. I mean, the names are there, but it was a flop for me, you guys. So this is the worst one to me. Alright, guys, so now, continuing on, I pretty much like the rest of them. So, this is just from my least favorite to my absolute favorite. So, that's what the rest of it is. Just because these movies are in that category doesn't mean I dislike them. It's just I know which ones I like better. So the next one up after Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation is going to be the Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. This is the prequel to the remake. I really do enjoy this movie. I dig it highly. I love the look of Leatherface for the beginning of it. I like the story with the people going to re-enlist in the army. And this movie is great. Gore. It's just wonderful. I do enjoy this movie highly. It's just, you know, this is where it falls in line. It is what it is. It's not a bad flick. I love like I said, I mean, they jazzed up Leatherface's look a little bit, made him look, you know, what he might look like a little bit before he went straight full face, kind of had a half face mask for part of the movie, which I thought was great. So, you get to see how the family from the remake starts eating people and stuff like that. So I thought it was well-rounded and very great Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, I'm interested to see some of your guys' comments because I know some of you out there are very strong-willed about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you guys are going to think different, and I respect that. I love that. Alright, guys, so the next one in line for me, I really do dig this movie a lot. It's the most recent one, and I know it's got its flaws, but for some reason, just the way they continued it from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I loved it. I thought it was just a cool idea, something that no one's doing this anymore. Like, they don't continue it right from the first one, kind of. So, the next one's going to be Texas Chainsaw. I really love the look of Leatherface. I really love the story of this. The girl just gets taken from her family as her family's getting slaughtered. And I just thought this would have been such a cool continuation from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I mean the original. So, I really highly respect this movie for what it did. I mean, definitely the 3D aspect wasn't very exciting, so You know, that kind of ruins some shots here and there. Definitely the timeline is a little wonky, but you know what? It is what it is. But as far as just the bare bones of this film, I really enjoy it. The Leatherface in it's awesome. The gore in it, the kills, the people in the movie are really enjoyable. I love the Sawyer family crest thing and all that stuff going on. I really like this one. Alright, you guys. So getting into some more familiar ones if you're an originalist, and that's it. So the next one up is going to be Leatherface, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Really do enjoy this movie. I mean, R.A. Miloff as Leatherface. I mean, I feel like he did a great job. I mean, just a really good, you know, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, the family always evolves throughout the franchise. So that is what it is. So I mean, this is kind of where they're at this point. Leatherface has a cool little creaky, like, leg brace, and I really think that's really cool. Kind of like you hear that, you know, he's coming kind of thing. So I think that was really cool, a really great idea for this movie. The people in this, the characters in this movie, fantastic. I thought the acting was really well done, even though I really don't know acting from my elbow. What's the home guy's name? God damn it. Ken Foree, I mean, the guy, he's the guy from the Dawn of the Dead, and the guy who's going to be at Crypticon. I'm really stoked to meet him. He's in this movie, and I'm really stoked I love seeing him in movies. And one cool thing about this movie, R.A. Miloff played Leatherface, but then Kane Hodder was the stunt coordinator on this. So Kane Hodder played Leatherface probably in some shots here. So that's really cool to see Kane Hodder, not see Kane Hodder, but know he was in this movie. But R.A. Miloff was a good Leatherface. I like that. So that's it. So that's going to be, let's see here. If I had to number these, out of 7, that takes the place of number 4. So now you guys were on to the top 3 Texas Chainsaw Massacres. I'm sorry I wasn't numbering them from the beginning. It is what it is. So number 3 in my list of my from best to worst Texas Chainsaw Massacre is going to be the original, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Really do dig this movie, you guys. This is kind of, they let a little more comedy come into the franchise a little bit, really early on in the franchise. But it didn't ruin it. I mean, they introduced Chop Top in this one, and he's really enjoyable. I like him. The Leatherface in here, he's a little horn dog, and I just freaking love it. It's hilarious to watch. I really love the whole radio station thing. And then the freaking Texas Ranger guy just, I guess I can say, what the heck's his name? I'm gonna butcher this. Yeah. You guys know what I'm talking about. This guy right here. Probably gonna get slain for that one, but that's okay. I loved his character in this movie. Like, when he was double wielding the chainsaws and then had the giant one. It was just great stuff, and he was just going in there just to fuck shit up for these guys, and he did a great job. Definitely highly respected this movie. That's a great sequel, even though the Texas Chainsaw is another great sequel where that would have taken this one's place if this one sucked, but it doesn't. So we kind of have 2 sequels. That's weird and kind of difficult, but you know, this one still pulls ahead, and it is what it is. All right, you guys. So for my number 2 spot, this one was really hard for me to do just because it is such a newer film. But, you know, I can't deny it is what it is. And I'm going to go with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake, for my number 2 spot because, damn it, I hate remakes, but motherfucker, is this one good. I love the look of it. They changed the original one in just a certain spots that I would have changed it. And, like, I really feel like I was a part of this movie. When I watched it, I just felt like I was home in a weird shape or form. I love the look of Leatherface in this one. He's so brutal. The kills in this thing are just amazing. The characters in it. The one thing that this has over the original is it doesn't have Franklin. I'm sorry. Franklin was the most annoying character ever. But he worked for the original. He worked perfectly for the original. But this one, I'm glad they changed that whole thing. And, you know, they were on their way to a concert. And I really love the story. You get to know more about the family. You know their names and stuff like that in this a little better. So I really love what they did with this remake. I'm probably going to get crucified for saying I like a remake, but you know what? you can't deny this one. And if you can, leave it down in the comments. I'd love to hear it. But I mean, I guess I don't leave much for the mystery of it. But for my number one spot for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, from best to worst, this is the best spot you can be in this franchise. And I really hate to do this because it was so obvious. The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you guys, this can't ever be dethroned. I don't care what anybody says. The remake tried, and then Texas Chainsaw tried as well. But you know what? This one's still going to be number one spot. Yeah, it's got its problems as well. But you know, back in the day, that was just the way it was. So how can you hate on it? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, it is the number one spot, you guys, and it is never gonna be dethroned. And if it is, I can't wait to see that movie. Just saying. Alright guys, so that is it for my From Best to Worst. Go ahead and run through this real quick again. The worst, Next Generation. And then that's pretty much the only one I don't really care for. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning. Texas Chainsaw, the newest one in the franchise. Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake. And then the king of them all, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. Alright guys, so let me know what your list was. Leave it down in the comments. I'd love to see your guys' list because this is such a huge franchise and it's one of the best out there. Definitely has one of the best records. I mean, has really only one dud in my personal opinion. So, I want to see what your guys' list looks like. So leave them down in the comments and let me know. And this is Horror Junkies 509 signing out just until next time. And you guys, I've been sentenced to life with Texas Chainsaw, with frickin' Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. We're horror lifers, you guys. We're not going anywhere. We'll be here right after Crypticon, and I'll be coming back with some great stuff, hopefully. You guys have a good one. Hoorah!